No, I just make stuff. I don't like to see stuff get thrown away. I like to see it repurposed.
Mark Ostrander lives in Jacumba Hot Springs, footsteps from the border fence. His property is a maze of vintage machines and other equipment he tinkers with and recycles. He even installed a vertical access wind turbine on his property.
I don't pay a utility bill at this point because I have solar and wind. I'm trying to do my part to reduce my carbon footprint.
So it may come as a surprise to learn that Ostrander is part of a lawsuit against a historic wind farm in Mexico. Energía Sierra Juárez is the first renewable energy project between the U.S. and Mexico, operated by Sempra Energy affiliates IEnova and Intergen. Ostrander can see the turbines from his property, and he's concerned about fire. He's a retired battalion chief for the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection.
My main forte was in wildland firefighting.
He says the industrial scale of Energía Sierra Juárez makes it a fire threat, especially during drought. It includes 47 turbines, a nearly 5-mile cross-border transmission line, and 25 miles of new roads. Its operators plan to build even more turbines, expanding capacity by 700%. All of the electricity is sold to San Diego Gas and Electric under an $820 million power purchase agreement. The project is part of a nationwide scramble for renewable energy. California must get half of its electricity from renewables by the year 2030.
All of these agencies and companies are kind of, in lockstep with each other on this green energy rush, whether it's actually beneficial to us or not.
That's Donna Tisdale, who lives northwest of Ostrander in Boulevard. She's leading the lawsuit, which also names the U.S. government. She says the Department of Energy issued a presidential permit to the project without evaluating alternatives, as the law requires. Alternatives include distributive options like Ostrander's home solar panels.
We feel like energy should be generated closer to the point of use.
That would eliminate the need for long transmission lines, wildlife damage out in rural areas, and fires, she says. The Department of Energy did not respond to requests for comment. Sempra Energy also declined an interview. Tisdale argues the government failed to consider environmental impacts in Mexico. The defendants counter they don't have to, so long as Mexico approves. Mexico's National Environmental Agency, Semarnat, gave the project a green light.
No solamente cumple con los temas de impacto ambiental.
It not only meets environmental impact requirements, it also deals with climate change and global warming problems.
That's Semarnat representative Alfonso Blancafort. He says Mexico is benefiting from the project, even though it's not getting any of the electricity.
¿Qué sucede? Nosotros aquí tenemos la percepción de ser una región.
Here we have the perception of being a region. If we have a wind farm that generates electricity with low impact on the environment and lower emissions to the atmosphere, the whole region benefits.
Mexican officials and company leaders applauded the project during a ribbon-cutting ceremony at the wind farm earlier this summer. They say it signals a new chapter of cross-border collaboration on renewables.
Both the U.S. and the Mexican governments have been, as part of the bilateral agenda, have been talking a lot about increasing cooperation on renewable energy, especially along the border. And I would say that this is a good and clear example of what this cooperation can accomplish.
Recent energy reforms in Mexico helped push the project forward. Tisdale says she knows her lawsuit won't be able to undo the first phase of the project, but there's still the expansion to think of.
Sempra offered us a settlement agreement. We declined. You have to be of a certain persuasion to enjoy country life, and not everyone appreciates it, but it's really missed when it's gone.
She says she plans to keep fighting as long as she can. Jean Guerrero, KPBS News.